dull day. You find yourself walking on the same familiar street or road you have trod many times before. All seems well until you spot something in the distance. What appears to be a young woman in distress has her back to you as she sobs into her hands. You approach, preparing to offer assistance, only to have her slowly turn and face you when you're near. The face she reveals is not one of a mortal woman, however, but a fleshy wall devoid of eyes, lips, a nose, or any vestige of human anatomy. Paralyzed with horror, you can only stare in shock at the creature before you. You have met a faceless one. Stories of these beings exist in various parts of the world, one of the oldest having originated in feudal Japan. The tale tells of a man traveling along the Arasaka Road when he is confronted by a weeping woman. Upon attempting to console her, he discovers she has no face. He flees until he comes upon a food vendor, only to have the man wipe his face away and reveal himself to be one as well. A lesser-known story involves a fisherman visiting a forbidden pond near a graveyard, where he meets the young woman that frightens him after removing her face. When he returns home, his wife scolds him before she too wipes away her visage. A later account of a faceless being takes place in South Carolina, with a figure locals have dubbed the Gray Man of Pawleys Island appearing before hurricane strikes. In times before technology allowed for the early detection of natural disasters, the Gray Man was credited with saving many lives. Across the Atlantic, the Faceless Man of Bolton Park has terrorized UK residents for decades, with witnesses reporting a figure appearing to float through the area at night while dressed in light-colored clothing. Further south, Becontree Station in London is said to be the home of a blonde female entity in a white dress. Yet there are still more modern sightings. In 1959, Honolulu newspapers circulated the rumor of a girl visiting the restroom of the Wailea Drive-In. What she first took as a woman combing her hair in front of the mirror turned out to be a faceless entity that caused her to have a severe panic attack. One story even has the faceless woman becoming aggressive and slamming against a bathroom stall after the girl inside notices her through a crack in the door. Although the drive-in has since been demolished, sightings of the faceless and sometimes legless woman have continued, with witnesses placing her at a wedding reception at the Waikiki Hotel, a shopping mall, and the Kapi'olani Community College. In recent years, mainland sightings of other faceless ones have been concentrated in the northwestern areas of the United States. In 2015, a Reddit user in r/nosleep, claiming to be a search and rescue officer for the U.S. Forest Service, relayed a story from a coworker. One of two children that had been missing for 2 weeks was found in perfect health sitting on a log. The child claimed that he and his brother had been with a fuzzy man, with no eyes or mouth, but a blurry countenance as opposed to the featureless wall of flesh that we usually hear about. He fed the boy berries, and let him wander a clearing, was able to make it go brighter at night, and could speak despite not having a mouth. The boy claimed he was released because he was not the right kind, whatever that means. His brother was never found. The same user also posted about finding a climber that had broken his leg after falling down a crevasse. The injured man claimed he had come across a man wearing a parka and ski pants with no climbing gear. When he saw the man had no face, he had attempted to flee the area and fell. He had laid there for 2 days, hearing muffled screams at night. In most circles, faceless ones are believed to be a kind of ghost. They may be tied to a past tragedy, such as the Gray Man of Pawleys Island, or the female entity in Becontree Station. Additionally, they are often considered an omen of death or ill fortune. In Japan, they are known as Nopirabo, and are described as a kind of shapeshifter that works to frighten humans with its appearance. Sometimes they are described as mystical animals that have taken the shape to deceive their victims. Similarly, the Taino people of the Caribbean believe in the hapia, the faceless ghost of a deceased person that has the ability to assume human form. More insidious than the Napirabo, hapia are thought to abduct children and those that venture outside after nightfall. Typically, faceless ones are described as being extremely pale and having thin, even emaciated appearance, not unlike the popular creepypasta character Slender Man. They wear ordinary clothing and, in cases where the entity has long hair, have been known to use it to conceal their disturbing visage. This is especially true in Asia, where the entity is almost exclusively seen as female. Some theories state that the faceless are ghosts that have forgotten their true identity and are thus doomed to wander aimlessly. Still darker ideas suggest they are what remain of those mortals that sold their soul while still alive. In either case, the entities would be subject to a kind of memory loss. Others believe these entities are not spirits of the dead at all, but instead extra-dimensional in origin. Like other sorts of suspected paranormal beings, such as the so-called shadow people, faceless ones have traveled to our plane of existence for unknown reasons. In ages past, they would have been attributed as being a kind of fae folk from the spirit world. Those that claim to be able to commune with spirits have reported the faceless feel cold and do not yield any information as to their identity. Taking consensus from several accounts indicates that faceless entities are not confined to a specific type of environment, having been seen in both rural and urban areas. Their level of physical strength is unknown, but they appear to have the ability to vanish at will, as well as levitate. Though they are commonly seen as revealing themselves voluntarily, some accounts claim the faceless are able to conceal themselves in crowds, and may even become agitated or violent when an individual notices them. Regardless of what you believe, one thing is for sure: faceless ones would be the ultimate opponent in a game of poker.